Welcome, my homies. What does my Pepino man say? This is Cesario from the barrio. This is Miguel, not from the barrio, but from somewhere in cyber world, talking to you live on day 2 of Hobby News Daily, even on weekends. Not a ton going on in the hobby today, but we do have some news to share with you, and I will just share real quickly, guys. I'm going to try to let people know I'm going live, but life's going to be erratic. All I'm going to tell you is it's going to happen in 24 hours. If you can be there, be there. If not, catch the replays. That doesn't make a difference because I just want to speak from the heart. No scripted crap here. So we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the hobby. Let's share with you stories from CSA last week. I forgot about talking about this. I actually have a video I'm working on the CSA show. I actually was only able to go Saturday. I wanted to go Sunday, but my son won games on Saturday, which got us into the tournament on Sunday. So we went to basketball games on Sunday, which was, well, it's better than a card show. You can understand. Let's jump into some of the news going on in the hobby. Forgive me for a second here as I share my screen. And let's do the whole screen, nothing but the screen. So help me God screen. Here we go. Doop. Okay, let's pop over here to Collectors Daily. It's still the same stuff from yesterday. It's interesting. All the other daily content that's out there typically does stop on the weekends. You know why? Because they're businesses. They don't pay anybody on the weekends to put out content. Well, that's why you come over here to Ziggy's Hobby News Daily. It's raw, it's unsponsored, and it's every day. Day 2 out there, haters. Nothing here that I want to bring your attention. I'm going to talk a little bit about this because I think it's funny that everybody's discussing this change of Panini employees to Topps, and is Topps going to come out with a license? I heard a really good video from Neo. He talked about he does think another foot's going to drop, that maybe they're going to need the licensing. That would make sense. I'll tell you this, as a collector, I want one licensed company over printing. I don't want multiple companies with licenses over printing. Not unless there's true competition. There's not true competition. We'll talk about it later on in another video, but I thought this is interesting. Now, here's another thing I thought, which no one else is talking about this. All you people out there who love sports cards and looking for opportunities, well, think about this. Go over to Panini's website. Well, here on LinkedIn. Go to Panini's website. I don't know where, but you should be applying for a job. Because if you look at Fanatics LinkedIn, here's all the positions they have available. I don't know which ones have changed, but I got to imagine GRC analyst. That's interesting. Any cybersecurity guys here? They need a cybersecurity team. I wouldn't want to work for Fanatics, though. Retail. I don't see all those positions that apparently are recently filled. But when you go over here to the Panini's, job offerings, and again, I didn't look on their website, but if you go to LinkedIn, they only have the customer service rep, which, let's be honest, we know they needed that. They've needed that for a long time. I need to remember to bring water tomorrow. But I would, if I was you, I would send resumes right now to Panini if you're looking for a job. You have anything to do with product or want to get in the hobby, break in the hobby, I bet you they're going to need talent, right? As more talent's leaving them, if you have experience, this is a good place to be. And I will also say, I'll tell you right now, I do think Panini in the future is the Rebel Alliance. Whether you like them or not, Fanatics is going to be the freaking evil empire. So check that out. Think about that. What are your thoughts on that? What else in the news? I think the big news, which we're talking about this week, will be Prizm Basketball. Now, Prizm Basketball has been a barometer for the hobby for years. And I say years, is really only since Ben Simmons' year. Ben Simmons withholding his autograph from Panini is what made Prizm Basketball today. Whole separate story on that. But really, because of that, Ben Simmons was the hyped up rookie. He came out, his autograph wasn't available. So Prizm comes out and they start hyping the silver Prizms. They start hyping the color, the 101s, the non-auto, because there was no autos in Panini that year. The only way you get a rookie, Ben Simmons, who's absolutely worthless now, was to go to, I think, Upper Deck, the Gaudi product. Is that right? The Gaudi product? Was it Gaudi, the box with all the, I can't remember, but you guys will figure that out. So Prizm has been like the bellwether. Honestly, this has been low. I'll tell you, if you're going to get Prizm, I do Prizm breaks. I do not recommend this to anybody else, but I would do Prizm breaks, and I'd buy the teams that I want to go after. I would not buy retail in this product this year, and I would not chase random teams. And I probably wouldn't open my own hobby boxes. In fact, I looked at this price. Look at this. Blowout cards. This is the problem with hobby. In my opinion, the biggest problem in the hobby that we have now, I think there's two problems. One was lack of competition because the licensing we're done. Now it's worse, but we can't change that. So that problem being kind of what it is. The biggest problem, in my opinion, is the way this I don't know how to explain it. Channel stuffing takes place, and how because of that the consumer gets screwed. That's something I want to talk about. We don't talk about the consumer very much in the hobby, the collector, the hobbyist, right? But this is screwing me. $799 for a box of Prism on opening day is ridiculous. This product suggested retail price, I would assume, was around maybe $300. And I don't even know if they do suggested retail prices, but I'm basing that on, let's assume allocation prices are probably around $300 a box. It's allocated price, which again is another one of these corruptions in the hobby we'll talk about in some other later video. Okay, let's move into some of the topics of the day. Listen to this conversation this morning. Really, really enjoyed this. Like listening to Adam, Dr. Beckett, Mike, and Victor. A few takeaways on this, what I thought was funny. They discussed the breaking news of Panini's employees leaving. Now, I recall that news broke because Victor here, the rookie card specialist, heard about that. I want to say on Spotify. He posted that on his page or somewhere, and he is one of the members of another daily group, I think the Hobby News Daily, okay, which is a website, and they're a bunch of writers who do articles and stuff. It's funny because they talked about this as if, well, who broke the news? And I'm sitting there going, it was Victor who broke the news. And somebody says it's somebody, and Mike goes, oh, it was Hobby News Daily. I'm thinking, no, it was actually Victor. But that's just not besides the point. Just it shows there wasn't a lot of coordination in the conversation before. The other thing that I found interesting, I love Dr. Beckett. He was brutally honest in this. I encourage you all to go listen to this, right? Let's not be naive, guys. The reason they're doing this stuff is to make money. The reason, one of the arguments I have that I'll say in this video, and I'll make a longer video on this, is what I'm upset with is Fanatics and Topps are taking advantage of an ignorant market, a market that's very unaware and is making bad choices. And two examples to give to you real quickly. They hyped up the McDonald's basketball set, the Chrome set, and a lot of people bought it thinking that LeBron Jr. was going to be in it. He's not. He's coming next year. Right. That was kind of a shady bait and switch. And I heard several people speak of that. Right. The one I heard talk about it specifically was Mojo Breaks talking about they bought a bunch of it because they were kind of misled or led to believe, should I say, that it was going to be there and it's not. Okay. Second, they came out and recommended that, or mentioned that Tom Brady's going to be signing in Bowman Draft is what I heard. And I searched just everywhere. And that's the only thing I saw was Bowman Draft, Tom Brady. Now, Bowman came out, pre-order prices for Bowman were ridiculous. And I know a lot of people did think, because you could ask them, is Tom Brady in this? Yeah, Tom Brady's in this one. But he wasn't, right? There was no clarity in the market. That is taking advantage of an ignorant market. It should be very clear who and who is not in these products. And that really also falls in the responsibility of the leaders in the hobby. And there aren't many leaders in the hobby. Like I would expect the breakers would know this. But if Mojo Break got duped, that means a lot of other people are getting duped. And you see this matriculating in the fact that Fanatics does their own little slabs, which you'll sell a slab card for a lot more than it would be in a PSA or a Beckett case or something else. Right? So it's a very shady company. They will take advantage of anything they can to make money. So my opinion on the basketball and stealing the employees doesn't make me feel good about the hobby. And as a collector, I'm very concerned. Like I said earlier, I do not want overprinting in this hobby. And we already see that happening now. And now you have confusion. So fast forward 24, 18 months. People are going to be out buying, chasing Victor Yama Mama and find out they're buying product that's unlicensed or is not going to hold its value, or maybe it's even fake, right? There'll be a lot more fakes in the world. Let me say this last thing too. For anybody who's really been in the hobby for 15 years, remind me about how exciting and how popular Topps Chrome was and all the Topps basketball products were when Topps had them, because you're lying if you said they were. No one liked Topps basketball. It was a dying product and Topps gave the license away. They discontinued they were just not interested anymore. They had no high-level products. The Topps Chrome was probably the best product they were making. They were getting their butts kicked because so many other products in the market space were doing basketball. So Topps decided, in fact, if anything, I would say Topps colluded with Upper Deck and with Panini to wipe out half the small industry by saying we'll give exclusivity to Panini, which brought Panini International Company in, which started a very exclusive license, which then led to football exclusivity and baseball exclusivity and so forth. We need to research. Anyway, so listen to these guys and really enjoy the conversation. I encourage you to talk about it. They talked about a lot of things, the Beckett slab. I'll say this. Beckett should focus on two things, right? Making their slabs better. They have counterfeit problems, and they should focus on grading. They have grading issues. So they've been accused of having inconsistencies in soccer cards. They're definitely not doing the best grading they used to do. I want to remind you, Beckett was the one that broke the Dak Prescott autograph auto pen. I think those are bigger concerns than slab. Remember, buy the card, not the grade. I personally also agree with Victor. He said they need to just get rid of the 9.5. If you want to compete, don't compete with SGC and HGA. Compete with PSA. Wipe out the 9.5. PSA did it. Why do you need to do it? Moving on, because I got so much to say and so little time. I'll come back to this. Fanatics, real quickly. They talked about how Fanatics can make things better. And Fanatics is doing absolutely nothing, in my opinion, to make things better. But here's a few things they could do. Number one, Fanatics do more to stop, prevent, or help to prevent fraud in the hobby, right? Disclose print runs, disclose the product that you're putting into the chase cards that you're in there, take pictures of cards, patches, do more player experiences of players involved with the actual collectors. The fraud is a really big one. Disclosing print runs would go a long way too at helping collectability. Do something that's really generational, like putting a patch that, I'll leave that alone. That can't be generational. That just can't be. A couple of channels to check out. I want to mention a huge fan. I talked about this guy yesterday, Grunt Dad Sports Cards. He put out this video yesterday, and I totally missed it. Here is his update on sports card channels. It's funny. I don't think this channel is even on here, and he's tracking my Ziggy No Raw, which I just changed the name of that, by the way. So I'm not even on this chart anymore, but I do love this. But here's a link, and I will try to leave this below. Look at all the data he's tracking for you. He has pop count, prism breakdown. I mean, just so much amazing data. And I thank you for doing this. I want to get more eyes on what you're doing. I want to help you do what you're doing. I'd love to have you on the channel, talk about what you're doing. Just a big fan of what you put together out there. Okay, last thing I'll talk about. And then I'll go live and see if there's any questions or comments. So I can't see that right now. I posted this yesterday. I actually posted a short as well about this announcement that Leighton, Topps, and SGC are working together to do a live break on April 25th. I did that. That was me. Put a short out. Since then, 59 people have watched this video. Now, a few of them had to watch it before me. So let's just say 50 have watched it since I posted that video. 50 have. At the same time, Sports Card Dad, Dustin, comes out this morning and puts a video out about it and talks about the SGC doing this partnership. And I thought that was kind of suspicious. Dustin, wonder where you heard that from. Did you watch the whole Mojo break video? Because that's at the end. Like, you had to watch the whole video to make it to the end to know that SGC was doing that. And I cannot believe that he did that. Then today, I heard Neo on his daily update, which he did a really good video. Again, like I said, talking about he thinks another shoe's going to drop. Not going to argue. I think he's wrong. But he goes on about the SGC live Panini or SGC live breaking with Leighton type thing and how he's going to do a video on that. I'm just going to call it out. Neo and Sports Card Dad have both watched my content for years. They've never, ever, ever given me credit for the stuff that I have notified the hobby to. I'll just leave it at that. Okay. And I'm going to be a little more honest about calling out crap like that, dude. That's just so weak. It is also, it goes back to, I do feel like a lot of people don't want to hear my voice because it's the honest voice. Like, if you listen to the chat and the hobby hotline today, I was very brutally honest. Everybody else is sitting there kissing Fanatics' butt. I'm calling out Fanatics and all the things they're doing that are wrong. Fanatics is not making the hobby better. Fanatics is taking advantage of the Victor Yamayamo. They're going to take advantage of market confusion. Be lucky they don't start making hockey cards to go after the Connor dude next year, which I bet you they will. It would not surprise me if Fanatics does not have cards to go after the money play there as well. That's how, again, they don't care. And the last thing I'll leave with this, I try to make this point too. Fanatics stealing the talent from Panini, who make the cards, I really could care less. That's like collecting worker bees. But the executives who are making these decisions are lost, right? Because Beckett made their decisions without including Dr. Beckett. He talks about that in his video. He wasn't included in that decision, right? So those executives, as Microsoft guys who came in, who know so much about sports cards, that might have hurt them. And then you see what's going on in Fanatics. Fanatics is bringing in a bunch of, what the dude from Wheel of Fortune or something like that. Those are not hobby collectors. And they're here to maximize shareholder profits. It's going to get a lot more interesting before it gets better, in my opinion. Guys, thank you very much. I am planning to go live tonight, go a little more detailed, talk about some stuff. I also plan to put out some of these more detailed videos on my main channel here shortly. So again, thank you very much for joining us here at Hobby News Daily, raw, unfiltered, unsponsored, every day. Day number 2. Have a great day. Thank you very much. I think that's it, right? What do I do? Press this button, end broadcast.